Give me a quick second here, folks. I hear a little reverb here. Just give me a quick moment. Oh, you know what? I know what, 'cause I'm on Twitter. I got to close that out here because we're broadcasting not just inside our live trading room, but also on YouTube and on Twitter. There we go. Just fix that there, Albert. Should be good to go, though. All of our students and members here: Carlos, Thomas, Dave, Chuck. I see Kathleen here, Roseanne, Barbara. A lot of our students just rejoining us right now, or just perhaps have been with us from earlier. Listen, there is a lot to discuss here, and there's no one better at talking right now at this very time of the day than, well, not me, than Jerome Powell, actually, because we have a little competition right now, don't we? Right now, as we're talking, we have Jerome Powell giving his remarks on the interest rate cut, as we all knew going into today. I mean, everyone had to have expected it. The interest rates being cut by 25 basis points. I don't know why people were expecting more, to be honest with you. If you were expecting 50, then you don't really know Jerome Powell too much, do you? The guy is pretty boring. He doesn't really look for surprises or curveballs too often. In fact, he's been delaying this for quite a bit, and that was actually a slight surprise after a while because I think a lot of traders were expecting this cut to happen earlier this year. Now, with that said, what's the reaction? What's the initial reaction from the market so far? I mean, it's kind of a roller coaster, right? But listen, if you've been inside our live trading room, then you've had the full commentary from us, Fausto, myself, Rich, all throughout the day on what we were expecting. So that's where I'll tell you, hey, you got to be a member inside a room to understand what we've been looking for and what we should be expecting going forward. There's a reason I have this line here down below on my SPY chart here, right at this convenient price, 657 and change. Maybe that was the closing price from Friday, right? So filled the gap, and there could be another gap for this to try and fill over time. If you scroll up in the chat board, Mike, Margaret, Uday, Dominic, Leda, of course, as always, just see that last post I just sent to you in the chat. Just click that little picture of the chart, and it gives you our whole game plan as far as these gap fills on the SPY daily there. So going into the close would not shock me if we continue to pull back. So much so that we've been discussing this at least all throughout the day, as far as some shorts or just hedging the market. Give me a brief moment here. Right around 12:30, I was saying another hedge versus the market today. And if you're not taking shorts, then it is to try and take some of the inverse ETFs. So, for instance, MSTZ was an ETF I shouted out to all of our students earlier today at 12:30. Again, you got to be a member inside our live trading room to follow along there. But MSTZ. Now, this is one that goes basically completely inverse to the market. So if we are going to see continuation of a drop off, then this ETF, UVIX, the VIX ETF there, should look to go up. And I have a line here looking to make sure this can stay afloat as support for the time being. So, as Powell's talking, we're going to just go across our list here now, the gainers and losers list here, and build up our own personal watch list going into the close. For any of the other, stocks that ended up moving earlier today, we'll recap them briefly, but a lot of them are just washed up now. They're garbage now. So SPRC pre-market push, early in the morning, it pushed up much higher after the opening bell hit. Dead now. ATCH, not so much dead, I guess you should say. It's very much alive because look at these, candles and moves. We'll come back to this. Maybe there could be room for more because this does have a gap of its own to try and fill. We look on the daily chart here. I mean, it has to pretty much hold over 209, 205, 209 there. And then at that point, it could try and, oh, actually, no. One more. Not that one. No. It is that one. It is that one there. Okay, so if this wants to get crazy, then it does have resistance way up top around 205, 209. And if it were to break over that, then there is a gap fill around 225. That's kind of a ways away still from here. But listen, if this keeps making higher lows as I'm talking, as we're going through this meeting, I wouldn't mind just putting it back on our list then if it wants to prove itself to us during this meeting. I'll be here for it. But GV from earlier, just crazy move up, down, just tanked, got obliterated after. Again, another stock it would need to prove itself. I have no care for that trade right now if it's not near the highs. At the highs, it's got to have a good order book, right? This is where I mentioned earlier. For students that consistently make money on category 4 or 5 stocks, those are traders in our room that should be calling those stocks out. Otherwise, if you're not really finding your groove on those trades, you probably shouldn't be trading them, let alone calling them out. That's where a stock like ASTI here, it's near the highs. It's not like the fastest stock under the sun, but good order book. Maybe the reason why this isn't so fast now is because you do have a resistance here at 243, 15,000 shares. So at least there's, a level. I like that. It's tradable. It's been moving up across the day. I thought I did this already. Give me a moment. Oh, I deleted my watch list. Shit. All right. Give me a sec here, folks. I came prepared, but then I guess I deleted my stuff. Give me a sec. Just building out our watch list so far. Yeah, there goes the ASTI. We'll add that to begin. Oh, you know what? I got to jack this up here. That's why. Get rid of all the low volume crap at this point here. Rerun this scan and see what else we got. So we got rid of the low volume crap, but still doesn't exclude stocks that are flat. QBTS, definitely not flat. If you're inside our live trading room, then you know this picture, right? We've been posting that all throughout the day today, like numerous times. So again, scroll up in the chat board if you're just joining us right now. You could follow along from the posts from earlier. It pays to, right? It helps you out as a trader. But at least for right now, QBTS easily put this on our watch list going into the close, all-time highs. It's been flying back up here today, breaking above that trend line I just showed. Lift. This ANPX has been a fun stock to follow along too. More on the swing side. This has been a beast lately. It's up another 10% today. I could add this to our list. It's kind of moving like the quantum trade there. It's kind of moving like QBTS a little bit, huh? I mean, if the markets are reacting pretty nicely as I'm talking and the SPY's pushing back up, oh, that would be great. But you know what? AMPX, I'll kind of slap alongside the QBTS trade. NFE, this was a great trade yesterday into pre-market this morning. Dead now. Wolf, dead. Open, just tanking. Martin Shkreli getting his short right now off, so that's good for him. Everything else, though, I mean, again, if it's not really trending near the highs, Baidu is, I think, a Chinese stock, right? A little expensive. Order book's pretty thin, too, but this has been an interesting trade today, hasn't it been? It's not, yeah, not nearly close to all-time highs, though. This is not as strong as we've seen other trades, at least. It looked like it looking at the intraday, but you always got to give respect to the long-term graph, see where it's at of recent. All right, we'll keep going along here. Now, we'll probably find more stocks. I mean, if the markets are plunging still, then probably some good shorts to work with going into the close. Getty still holding. Quantum's doing good, so Quantum might be the one sector you could find some strength in the event that the markets peel back more. I haven't checked back in on the SPY, so I have no idea how the markets are trading right now. Do a little bit of a live reaction in just a moment. CURX, talk about the Grim Reaper and use it for this stock here. This thing's dead. Don't be expecting a move back up on that thing anytime soon. Let it prove itself to you there. Gemini, same deal. All these IPOs of late, StubHub included today. StubHub tanked as soon as it opened up. It's dead. So that's just where IPOs, you shouldn't look to try and trade them right out the gate. Even look at Webull. Folks. It's right back down at 12, but look how much it based out. It's taking its sweet time here. If it wants to go back up, that would be great. But just look at like stocks like Robinhood. Yeah, the stock tanked off its IPO. Look how long it based out here, about a year and a half to actually 2.5 years, then exploded. So that's where the IPO discussion I'm not really a big fan of, but the only issue is that we've seen a lot of familiar names debut. So at least for stocks and companies we're familiar with, knowledgeable of, at least it's curious to see how they open up, but kind of all go to shit. They'll go to shit at first, then they'll make their better move later on. Jobby down nearly 5%. That's at the lows right now. Uber's a little flat right now. Not really too interested in that there. I mean, we'll go back to NVIDIA. How's NVIDIA doing? We're back below 170. We're back near the low of the day. Yeah, we're right back to the low right now on the SPY. So as we're checking back in with the market here, like we had said, there could easily be more downside room. I was even going over this a bit on Twitter last night myself, kind of going over the thought process behind corrections within the stock market, how it's pretty healthy at times to see retracements of around 5 to 10% before a new move back up. That's not a bear market. That's not a recession. That's literally just a tiny little pullback in a big bull market. So, wouldn't be a bad thing if that happens. I'm not a bear. Just remember that as far as the long term goes, I wouldn't advise people to. I'd be just more patient, waiting for good buying opportunities over time on a lot of these trades. So, whether we drop more today or hey, who knows? I'm getting a little kick back up here. Let's see what Powell has to say right now. I think traders are more interested in what color tie he wore today, but otherwise, whole bunch of words right now. I'm not great with words, great with numbers. Powell says inflation has risen recently, remains somewhat elevated. Moderation in GDP growth largely reflects consumer spending slowdown. Does he say the word transitory? Does he say transitory inflation at all? Anything with transitory here? It's kind of like the main key word that people go crazy over. A whole bunch of blah blah blah. I mean, either way, focus on the trend, right? So this is the next gap for the SPY to drop down towards here to fill, and I think that there's a good chance we could see that even happen today. All right, so I'll tell you what. I mean, listen, we got 3 stocks on our list. Is that it? I mean, I feel like we could slip Nvidia on our list because this is down because of news with China as well. So it's not just with the market dropping, but also with news of its own. Nvidia could be an interesting short to work with. I'll put it on our watch list for that reason. Avgo of all stocks is getting crushed. The chip sector, trades right there. Obviously more expensive than Nvidia, so we're going to be likely more focused on the Nvidia trade here in our room. Leda, as always, appreciate you. Love you. Simulcast joining us inside our trading room, one of our longtime students, but also on YouTube. There you go. Yeah, I mean, just again, as far as like the stocks go, quantum altogether is holding up pretty damn nice. So I have no problem just kind of doing exactly what I did yesterday and just slapping just the quantum sector on our list. Just put quantum. That's all. You know what I mean when I say quantum. IONQ, RGTI, QBTS. I mean, QBTS I actually individually put on our list, but kind of just the rest of the quantum trades I'll say as well. Bitcoin dropping off, expected that. I think that we're going to get a move down below 100,000 soon. So right now, otherwise, the ETF that I'm long on right now, hopefully I didn't get stopped. I didn't get stopped out on this. I know I didn't, but yeah, there we go. All right, so I'm short on Run right now. I'm short on Sunrun. Why am I short on Sunrun? Because before this short squeeze that we had here, this stock has been in the trash. This stock has been in the dumps for a long time. It's a weak trade. Historically, this stock has been weak, is still weak. I know that there was a nice short squeeze from summer of this year. I was hypothesizing kind of internally that, all right, as long as we kind of hold resistance, then there's a good chance for this to pull back and at least fill this gap, if not lower. It's a thought, right? So just for right now, I am short on Sunrun. I wrote that to you in the trading room earlier. And then also UVIX, I'm long on, as I'd said, right from this line. I could put UVIX on our list just because kind of if you're going against the market and focused on a inverse trade there, that ETF would work out pretty well. Has been so far. All right, folks, let me check Benzinga Pro before we call it a wrap, but I think we've touched upon everything here so far. ATCH, oh, did we go back to that there? Did I actually put ATCH on the list yet? No. Okay. The Baidu trade we kind of just mentioned, and 10-cent music, that's another stock that's been pretty healthy of late. I don't need to add those, but those are Chinese stocks kind of moving on their own. Yeah, this ATCH I'm just going to put back on our list. It's just very active, good spread, still very tradable. You'd figure for as much as this ran yesterday into today and then tanked here, then moved back up here, probably been through a lot. It might become exhausted, but I don't mind putting it on our list for now and see where it goes. All right, folks. So I'll tell you what, I think that's pretty much it. We got everything now at this stage. Chuck, Lynn, and Randy, Leda, Margaret, all of our students right now live. And then if you're on social media, hey, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc. The works, as I like to say, down below, lower left, right below the avatar at least today. But at Cyber Trading You, just be a friend, tell a friend. Look to hit the follow and subscribe button right down below. Free live workshop tomorrow. Free live workshop. So scan that QR code with your phone, with your camera. If you're not as fancy with your technology, just go right to that link there in tiny font, ctu.co/free. Register you for our next live event tomorrow. That'll be at noon Eastern with Fausto himself. If you wanted to skip the queue, join us directly inside our live trading room. Just go right to the live market with us. Go right down to the link scrolling down below on the bottom there in blue, and then you'll get signed up there. But otherwise, hey folks, best of luck trading going into the close. You got me on the stick here heading into the afternoon. If you're any of our students in our room, I'll be back on myself in about 20 or so minutes, taking you into the market close. I'll talk to you then.